I'm so glad to be here. My name is Rebecca Bernick. I'm the Evanston Chamber of Commerce Board President. I want to thank you all for joining us today. It's a full house packed, so we're excited to have you all here. I want to also express how happy I am to be able to introduce a number of individuals here today. So if you don't mind, when I call your name, if you could stand up and give a wave so everybody knows who you are. I would like to start with my list. The state representatives who are here with us today. Senator Daniel Biss, Representative Laura Fine, he was over there a second ago. Laura Fine, and Robin Gable. I actually attended the Evanston Day in Springfield a week or so back, and if you haven't had the opportunity to take advantage of that wonderful event, it was great, and I loved listening to the representatives while we were down in Springfield. So next year, please take advantage of that. It was wonderful. Next, I would like to introduce all of the aldermen and women who are here with us today. Peter Brathwaite of the 2nd Ward. Don Wilson of the 4th Ward. Mark Tendam of the 6th Ward. Dolores Holmes, 5th Ward. Jane Grover, 7th Ward. And Ann Rainey of the 8th Ward. Next, I would like to introduce my fellow Board of Directors for the Evanston Chamber of Commerce. Again, please stand and wave. President, that's me, hi. Past President Dick Peach of Dempster Auto Rebuilders. Executive Vice President Michael Corr of First Bank and Trust. Gabriel Cummings of North Shore University Health Systems. Patrick Hughes of Inclusion Solutions. Merrill Irving of Oakton Community College. Richard Kirkpatrick of the Auto Barn. Jim Pipa of Brown, Kaplan, and Liss. Cindy Rawlings, North Shore Community Bank and Trust. Steve Rautberg of Rotary International. Karen Singer of the YWCA. And Miguel Wong of CoLab Evanston. Lastly, I would like to introduce our sponsor for today, Douglas Silverstein. He's the president of Evanston Hospital and North Shore University Health Systems, again, the sponsor for today's event, so thank you very much. And Douglas, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming out of hibernation to join us today. I've never seen so many people excited about saying it's 45 degrees outside, so, but I'm one of those people. It's 45 degrees outside, so. North Shore is once again pleased to be a sponsor of the Evanston Chamber of Commerce State of the City Luncheon. It's our 6th consecutive year. Thank you to Elaine Kemna-Irish, to Board Chair Rebecca Bernick, and Evanston Hospital is truly appreciative of everything that the Chamber does, and we are pleased to be here as a sponsor today. You know, North Shore is actually the 2nd largest employer in Evanston with nearly 4,000 employees, 800 of whom actually live in Evanston. We are pleased to be a sponsor of many Chamber events over the year and have a long history of our hospital leaders as Chamber presidents. I'd like to also recognize Mayor Tisdale and all the elected officials here today for your continued public service during these challenging times. And I can tell you in healthcare, these are truly challenging times. All of us are certainly affected by healthcare reform and the Affordable Care Act, as these are the biggest changes that we've seen in healthcare in more than 50 years when Medicare and Medicaid actually came into existence. You know, here at North Shore this year, we're actually experiencing $40 million in reimbursement cuts, which actually include the sequestration cuts from last March. And we know that we have additional significant cuts on the way over the next 3 years. And we know employers, and all of you are seeing this, are offering more and more high deductible and high copay plans. And what we're ultimately seeing in healthcare right now is that our patients are having a hard time paying their bills for their out-of-pocket portion. And we're seeing healthcare organizations see significant rise in bad debt. And we're all still looking for where are the 47 million newly insured patients. And it's been made more difficult, and some of you might be pleased by this, but the employer mandate has been delayed for 2 years, and we all know the well-documented website problems that are out there. And folks have started to finally go to the health insurance exchange, and what are they doing? They're picking high deductible, high copay plans. So our concern in the healthcare industry is, will we see even more bad debt as folks have difficulty paying their portion of their bills? Will we see actually lower utilization of outpatient services as folks start to not go to the doctor or to the hospital when they have issues? And could we see delays in important preventative screening? And one question that the healthcare industry is going to have to answer is, how are they going to ensure that patients are paying their portion of their bill? At North Shore, we have certainly had to reduce our overall expenses this past year, which include impacting both positions and people. And with further reimbursement cuts on the way, we know that we're going to have to continue to evaluate our expenses, but also with a focus on enhancement of quality through care and cost transformation. And we'll do this through clinical standardization, where we'll take practice variation out of our system through case management and technological innovation. Yet through all this, we've been able to still maintain our commitment to excellence. North Shore has been named to the top 100 hospital list 16 times, which is more than any other health system in the entire country. We've been recognized once again for our health information technology excellence and maintaining our outstanding quality and safety record with the highest rating from the Leapfrog Group. And we're very proud of our ongoing exclusive Chicagoland relationship with the Mayo Clinic. You know, North Shore actually provided healthcare services to almost 500,000 patients this past year, including 200,000 patients in Evanston alone. We are also a very proud partner of our relationship with the Erie Evanston Skokie Health Center, and if you haven't seen the new facility, it's really amazing, and I urge you to get over to see it. We are excited about our programmatic collaboration with Erie to ensure greater access to health care in areas like children and adolescent services, and are pleased to have been able to provide $1.8 million towards the new Erie Center. In terms of charity care and our community benefit, we're well over $250 million this year, including $24 million for free and discounted care to those in financial need, and continue to support community health needs like the Evanston Township High School Health Center, the North Shore Community Health Center and Dental Clinic, and pioneering healthier communities in our collective efforts to address the issues associated with childhood obesity. Once again, I would like to thank all the Chamber members here today for your contributions towards making Evanston a great place to live and a great place to work. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker today. The city of Evanston is very fortunate to have Elizabeth Tisdall as its mayor. The mayor was instrumental in bringing the Erie Evanston Skokie Health Center to our city, and this is only one example of her many achievements. It is my distinct pleasure to turn over the podium to the mayor of the great city of Evanston, Elizabeth Tisdall.
Thank you all. I think my first job is to introduce other community leaders who are here. Wally Bobkowitz, the city manager. Nobody else could pronounce his name, so I got picked to introduce him. Morty Shapiro, president of Northwestern University. Dan Linzer, the Northwestern Provost. Margaret Lee, the President of Oakton Community College. Eric Witherspoon, the ETHS District 202 Superintendent. Hi, Eric. Mary Brown, the District 65 Interim Superintendent. And Barb Hiller, the Evanston Skokie School District 65 Chief Administrative Officer. Wow! And John Huco, the General Secretary of Rotary International. Thank you all for being here. Now, every year I tell you that we have a great city council, and we do. This year is no exception. But I'm sorry, guys, especially since so many of you are here today, but we do have a greater group than us. Better than the council on which I serve, Cub Scout Pack 932 is better than the current council. Dan Nishabum brings a whole lot of Cub Scouts to my office once a year. After they've tried on the football helmets on my desk and the requisite number of heads have been stuck in the helmets, we go to the council chambers where they take over. The mics are on, there's a city manager, mayor, city clerk, and alderman all seated, and the public raises issues for the council to discuss. One Cub Scout asked the council what they were going to do about crime. Pack 932 banished guns in less than a minute. The vote was unanimous. They banished guns not just in Evanston, but in the entire nation. So I'm here to tell you that the state of the city of Evanston is very good. Don't worry, Lorraine is right here keeping track of me. But the state of the city in years to come, when those Cub Scouts take over, is going to be phenomenal. While there's much to celebrate, we share the dilemma of cities across the nation. How do we tax enough to fix our infrastructure and provide the services that people want and need, while not taxing so much that the unintended consequences are increased foreclosures and evictions? Potholes need to be filled while we debate repairing Robert Crown versus rebuilding it, and there's no debate about the water reservoir. We need a new one. Cities that thrive must be open to innovation, creativity, and problem solving. Much though we love Evanston exactly as it is, we must be open to change. One example of great change is Walgreens' store on Chicago Avenue, which makes Walgreens a world leader in combating climate change and preserving our planet for future generations. The store will generate more electricity through wind and solar power than it consumes. The rainwater on the site will be captured and stored in large underground chambers. These chambers have open bottoms that will allow the water to seep back into the ground. The heating and cooling system for the store was designed in Sweden and built in France. It is the first of its kind in the United States. Special window film on the high windows of the store will prevent glare from the sunlight by diffusing the light and reflecting it up onto the ceiling. The heat from the refrigerator compressors will be used to heat the store and create hot water. There are 8 geothermal wells under the drive-through that are each 550 feet deep. They tap into the consistent temperature of the ground, so less energy is used to heat and cool the store. A weather system on the roof tells the building control system when to open and close the windows. You have to go and look at the store. It's going to be a tourist destination for anyone concerned about climate change, and that is rapidly becoming all of us. Need I say polar vortex? I thanked Walgreens for choosing Evanston, and I loved their response, which was, of course, we had to build this in Evanston. I promised to talk about the store a lot, and I have. The past year's events, including the closing of Dominic's, the polar vortex, and the Davis Street fire, Evanston responded by throwing parties. Neighbors threw a thank you party for the workers at each Dominic's store. Children carried trays of cookies around, serving the people who had served us for so long. While I ate cookies and watched residents and workers say goodbye to one another, I thought, you have to love this community. The Grant Street neighbors threw a Grant Street gratitude party to thank everyone who went above and beyond, helping neighbors who could not shovel. 27 Live and workers on Davis Street threw a fundraiser to help everyone who lost their jobs due to the fire. Not to be outdone, the police and fire departments threw a party full of presents for Julian Sims, a young man who had a bone marrow transplant. The social season in Evanston is unlike any other. Grocery stores paid attention to the publicity, which increased their interest in coming to Evanston, a place with a loyal customer base. What's not going well in Evanston? We are a diverse community, fiercely proud of that diversity. How are we doing? Not as well as I'd like. Between 2000 and 2010, our African American population decreased by 19.34%. Happily, our Latino population is increasing. If you cannot afford to live in Evanston any longer, the excellent education here does you no good. If you cannot afford to live in Evanston, the outreach workers, the health care, the workforce development opportunities that we are creating all do you no good. That is why I am so concerned about having economic development. It's the Council's #1 goal. Affordable housing, jobs, and workforce development available in Evanston. We celebrated the opening of Emerson Square Apartments, thanks to Senator Durbin, Congresswoman Schakowsky, Alderman Holmes, the Illinois Housing Development Authority, and Brimshore Development. This provides much-needed affordable housing across from the Fleetwood Jourdain Community Center. Congresswoman Schakowsky helped cut the ribbon and spoke at the ceremony. Then she was so excited, she went home, got her husband Bob, got him in the car and drove him back to see the project. Jan had tears in her eyes. Jan and Bob both know how great the need is for affordable housing. Thanks to everyone's efforts, there's been a 0.2%, now I know that's not great, but it's something, increase in Evanston's African American population in 2012. The Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program had another successful year, employing over 300 Evanston youth. This was a 46% increase from the previous year. Over 200 more terrific young people did not get jobs. Hire these incredibly wonderful young people. We have applied for a $100,000 grant of money that can be applied to the 50-50 program. We will pay half the salary of anyone you hire. It's a deal. It really is. These are great kids. My thanks to the always incredible Cook County Commissioner Larry Suffredin, who told us about the grant. People used to ask me what the Youth and Young Adult Division did. Now they ask me why we cannot hire more of them. I want to tell you what they are up to without increasing the hire more pressure. They are working with the Youth Job Center, the YWCA, the Moran Center, YOU, District 65 and 202, Steve's Place CrossFit Program, Oakton Community College, and Commissioner Larry Suffredin to redirect young people toward food, recreation, healthcare, housing, employment, and educational resources, and to expunge records when needed. Is Bill Geiger here or anyone from the YMCA board or staff out there? I have to do a shout out to you and thank you for housing homeless young adults, participating in the Building Career Pathways to Sustainable Employment program in the YMCA's single residency occupancy part of the building. Now, you may ask, why is the city of Evanston in the workforce development business? Well, why are cities across the nation in the workforce development business? So many of us are that the mayor's workforce development breakout session at the White House had to be next door in the executive office building in an auditorium. 2,700 Evanston residents are unemployed. Others have stopped looking for work, not because they didn't want to work, but because they couldn't find a job. What is being referred to as the second machine age, in which cars drive themselves, computers double their power every 2 years, means jobs that didn't exist a year ago do now. Some jobs that did exist don't. ETHS is a wonderful school, but they cannot do all of Evanston's workforce development. The city of Evanston has successful programs, and we need more. The city is once again in conversation with the Starter League, trying to entice them to expand from 1871 at the Merchandise Mart and come to Evanston. Shalom Klein is opening a vocational school in Evanston, and Pivot Point has had conversations with ETHS about joint programming. Oakton Community College is partnering with the city to offer a commercial driver's license program at the Morton Civic Center in the summer of 2014. Oakton is partnering with ETHS and teaching an evening course using the high school's incredible auto facility. Take an Oakton administrator to lunch. We need to make them feel very welcome here. Dr. Irving, where are you? Take that man to lunch right over there. People need to be trained for the new economy jobs. We need new businesses, and we need to attract them with a reputation of having a flexible and excellent workforce. You may notice that there's a lot of construction going on at Northwestern. I asked Morty if NU would commit to using Evanston businesses and hiring Evanston residents whenever possible on major renovations and new construction. Morty said yes. He's even faster than the Cub Scouts, although, Morty, that's not really fair to my Cub Scouts because they had to take a vote. You didn't need a vote. How does it work? Well, that commitment will be included in Northwestern University's contracts and will require the general contractors to report their results. The university's responsibilities are the following: to post on the facilities maintenance website the names of contractors and major subcontractors for major renovations and new construction. This will allow members of the Evanston community that are seeking jobs to contact the subcontractors directly. NU will provide the lists generated by the city to contractors undertaking work on the campus for their use in acquiring materials and services and hiring individuals. At least $1 million will be spent locally. The City of Evanston's responsibilities are to generate and maintain a list of qualified union contractors and subcontractors that wish to participate in the program and undertake work on the Evanston campus. The city will generate and maintain a list of qualified individuals with experience in the trades who wish to work on projects on campus. We will maintain a list of interested individuals who wish to participate in the apprenticeship program. Beginning with a low number of guaranteed jobs, 25 is my decision, not Northwestern's. Kevin Brown and I wanted to be sure that we could give these people the support they need to pass the apprenticeship test and/or to support them as they entered the world of work. The reality is we will have more than 25, and next year, President Shapiro has agreed we will double the number. This agreement is a great step forward. Go Cats. Kudos to the Evanston Police Department and to the community. Crime is down 10%. There were 227 less victims of Part 1 crimes. In addition, the department cleared all 4 homicides. And thankfully, the officers survived a shootout with a bank robber. And we're very grateful to all of them and very grateful that they survived. The department's data-driven approach, increasing engagement with the community, and help from a more involved public are showing results. The Evanston community supports gun control. Local groups are doing their best, but those efforts are not being replicated on a national scale. I believe we have to give the Evanston Police Department technology that will help. Increased lighting and cameras, including, Chief, you're going to tell me if I get this wrong, cameras that can read license plates, are tools to help protect ETHS students and all of us. We have placed them around ETHS and have applied for a grant to get for more. Evanston has a talented and extraordinary city staff. This year, special kudos go to our Public Works Department for their unbelievably successful snow removal efforts. And to everyone in the Water Department who fixed broken mains in sub-zero temperatures. Public Works put in 16,000 hours of overtime, time that they were away from their families. But I have some good news about the overtime. Wally and council members, I'd been worried about paying for it, but Hecky said not to worry. And he's right here. He said everyone was so hungry from doing all that work that they were spending all their money at Hecky's. At 2:24 a.m. on Sunday, December 29th, the Evanston Fire Department was called to the Pine Yard Restaurant at the corner of Davis and Oak. They arrived on the scene in 3.5 minutes. The first firefighters on the roof cut an inspection hole in the roof and saw flames. That means our firefighters were standing on a roof that could collapse at any moment. I thank all of them, as well as the firefighters from Morton Grove, Northfield, Skokie, Wilmette, and Winnetka who came to our aid. As required by the standard operating guidelines, because of the advanced nature of the fire, everyone had to leave the roof and evacuate the building. Over a 5-hour period, hoses sprayed more than 1 million gallons of water into the building. Pine Yard, the Technicolor Nail and Day Spa, and Taco Diablo were destroyed, but the rest of the block was saved. On November 19th, 2013, Captain Michael Adam and firefighter-paramedic David Ellis retired. Between them, they had a combined 72 years of service to the residents of the city of Evanston. Both served, to quote Chief Kleiber, with honor and distinction throughout their careers. As we debate pension reform, and debate it we must, hold on to the picture of the firefighters on the roof and remember 72 years of honorable service for 2 Evanston retirees. And remember the police department and a shootout with a bank robber. In Evanston, we have taken proactive steps to address the pension shortfall by increasing the level of taxpayer contributions to the pension funds from $4.9 million in 2000 to $14.7 million today. The reality is we may be forced to choose between funding pensions and providing essential public safety services. Senator Daniel Biss, Representatives Gable and Fine wisely advised us to discuss reforms with the police and fire unions and find reasonable solutions to an urgent problem. I think they are right. Senator Biss and I will begin those conversations soon. So why is the state of the city excellent in spite of a recession and a long list of problems? One reason is that now everybody has health care. Available, excellent health care. We have a school-based health center at Evanston High School, and the Erie Family Health Center is fulfilling its promise to provide access to high-quality, integrated health care for residents in need and to hire locally. In 2013, Erie provided care through 4,100 medical visits and 1,800 dental visits. Where else can you call to schedule a dental appointment, an appointment with a pediatrician, and an appointment for yourself, all in one visit? Erie's new site at Dempster and Hartree is substantially expanding Erie's capacity to serve 5,500 patients through 27,000 visits per year. Their newly renovated, state-of-the-art, you gotta go see it, it's beautiful location, has 15 exam rooms and 5 dental suites. I have offered to let the staff visit their old basement headquarters at the Civic Center, but they have not seemed to miss us. Erie's hospital partnerships have been critical to their success in providing access to comprehensive care. North Shore University's health system made a $1.2 million capital donation and a $600,000 operating commitment for 3 years. Their generosity has been essential in enabling Erie, Evanston, Skokie to open and provide care. Thank you, Doug Silverstein. And who takes care of the patients there? Amy Crow, MD, and Barb Dickinson are recent additions. Dr. Crow is a Harvard Medical School graduate who completed her residency in pediatrics at Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago. Ms. Dickinson, go Cats, got her Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Northwestern University and her Master of Science in Nursing from the University of Illinois at Chicago. Thanks to Senator Richard Durbin, Congresswoman Schakowsky, who helped make this happen. The environment has been and continues to be a priority for this community. We know that we are trying hard, and we believe that we have accomplished a lot, but we wanted to have an outside evaluation of how we are doing. To meet that need, local governments built the STAR community rating system to help assess community sustainability, set targets for moving ahead, and measure progress along the way. Throughout the certification process, we have identified that a key strength of our environmental success is the collaboration between the city and citizens. Citizens are helping with emerging issues such as food access and nutrition, resiliency and climate adaptation, bird-friendly buildings, demolition debris, and low-carbon transportation alternatives. Citizens for a Greener Evanston has been instrumental in working with the city and the community during the process, and this great collaboration resulted in the city formally achieving our greenhouse gas reduction goal in 2013. New organizations like Edible Evanston, Evanston Tree Keepers, The Talking Farm, Walk and Roll, and others are being formed to help facilitate the collaboration between all the groups working on environmental issues. The city has created a new website, Evanstongreenbuzz.org. If you want to know what Evanston is doing about the environment, check out the site. I'm happy to announce that Evanston is now a certified 4-star community recognized for national excellence in community sustainability. All of our efforts, and I mean all, contributed to our winning this award. LEED certified buildings, we have the most, I believe, of any community outside of Chicago. Transit-oriented development, pedestrian safety, affordable housing, grandmother's park, walkable community centers, recreation department scholarships, the Ladd Arboretum Lakefront Lagoon and Civic Center parking lot rehabs, the Climate Action Plan, the Public Leadership Award from the Active Transportation Alliance, our annual recycling event, and our 100% green energy from our electricity aggregation project all contributed. As far as I can tell, everything everyone did all year has helped. These awards are important because everyone likes to win. But beyond that, Evanston is developing a reputation that attracts buildings like Walgreens. This is a new award, but we believe it will become the Olympic gold for cities. This last year saw a significant amount of economic development. In the past years, we've had about 30 new businesses open. This year, over 70 new businesses opened, bringing over $30 million in construction spending and a total of 210 full-time jobs. In 2013, council members and I cut over 30 ribbons, and of course, for Trader Joe's, one lei. Economic development isn't just about attracting new businesses. Much of the work is about retaining businesses and helping them to expand. Auto Barn, our remaining car dealer, announced plans to expand operations to 222 Hartree Avenue. This will result in the addition of 30 new jobs. Auto Barn is committed to working to see that those jobs are filled by Evanston residents. Earlier this week, Next Chapter, a joint program of the city's Economic Development Division and the Evanston Public Library, unveiled its new space at the library's main branch. Next Chapter is for the entrepreneur who is ready to move their business from their home office or their dining room table to a more professional space. Next Chapter will also feature classes, space for conferences, and hands-on technical assistance to members. Our engaged business community is helping by volunteering their time to teach courses, lead seminars, and offering mentoring to our youngest and earliest startups. Where do we go from here? I hope we stay the course. Long-term debt is down, pension funding is improving, infrastructure issues are slowly being addressed. We have a great council. If all that had happened in Evanston in the past year was the opening of the Erie Evanston Skokie Health Center, I would have been grateful. But Erie opened and Walgreens opened. That would have been enough. But Erie opened, Walgreens opened, Trader Joe's opened, Emerson Square Apartments opened, and 70 businesses opened. I am grateful. We won the 4-star Community Award. City staff battled a polar vortex, and I think they won. We have an exciting new agreement with Northwestern University, but most importantly, our firemen and policemen risked their lives and survived. I am grateful. As we made health care available to every Evanston resident, I dream of making workforce development available to every Evanston resident. People want to work. Let employers and job seekers know that Evanston welcomes the second machine age. Let them know we intend to have a workforce capable of reinventing itself to handle employers' needs. Businesses should come to Evanston. I would like to end with my favorite quote of the year. I hope all CEOs will say what Walgreens CEO said. Of course, we had to build this in Evanston. Thank you.
And what we are doing is handing out the Arts and Business Committee Leadership Award. You've seen us do this now 7 times. This is our 7th year with this award, so most of you know what it's all about. For the newcomers, the Arts and Business Committee is a subcommittee of the Arts Council, consists of business leaders and arts leaders in town who have come together for basically two reasons. To bring more support to the arts in Evanston and more visibility, and to use the arts to bring business into town. So the Leadership Award is something that we devised 7 years ago to honor those businesses that have been particularly supportive of the arts in Evanston. And I'm proud to say this is growing. There's more of them. We had very strong candidates, and every year we have more and more candidates. So we're very excited to see that. Many of you, first of all, I really should thank all of you in the audience who have been supportive of the arts, because as I look around, I know that many of you have. And obviously, we want to keep growing that. You can do this in so many different ways. It's not just about money. I mean, of course, the arts organizations love money, but it really isn't just about money. You can support the arts. You can provide space or for rehearsals or office space. You can mentor. You can provide guidance. You can in-kind services. Anything that you have to offer, whether it's discounted or just anything that you can think of that will help support the arts in some manner, that's what we're all about. I mean, this is our community, and that's what we're trying to do here. So, you know, we'd really like to keep growing as many businesses who can help support the arts, and so I really kind of challenge you to think about how you might go back and do something that can help support our arts organizations, because they really do need us. Well, let me get back to our artist, as a matter of fact. Before I get to introduce the artist, I'd like to introduce the Arts and Business Committee and part of the Arts Council. This table right here, kind of stand, wave. And Arts Council, some of them are at the other table. These people work really hard to do, as I said, to try to bring more visibility to the arts. You know, we're the folks who do Art Under Glass and Backstage Evanston and all of those kinds of programs. I will tell you that this year we are so excited about our artist. Piloto, would you please stand up? Each year, we commission a local artist to physically create the award. I called him Piloto. His full name is Alfonso Nieves Ruiz, correct? Okay, known as Piloto. He was born in Mexico, but he's now one of Evanston's treasures. And he's a sculptor and an art instructor. He's been widely exhibited, and there's even a book about his work now. So we're very brand hot off the press, right? Just what, 2 months? Yeah, okay. So if you get a chance, you know, look that up, check out the website. He has created an award called The Gift of Flight. It's a mixed media piece, which you'll see in a moment, and it symbolizes the idea that supporters give freedom to the arts. So we're very excited about it. Paul Giddings, whom you know from Folkworks, is co-chair of the Arts and Business Committee, and he joins me to present this year's Leadership Award to Koi Fine Asian Cuisine and Lounge.
Thank you all for being here and supporting, I think, Evanston, a great city. And for those of you who were not introduced earlier by one of the speakers, everybody just say hi.
Stan.
Okay. And particularly Hecky, who is funding the rest of the city budget. So that's good news, Hecky. Way to go, buddy. It's amazing. All right. One of the things Arts and Business Committee does is fosters the idea that it's not always about giving to the arts. It's about the businesses working with the arts to have a symbiotic relationship. In other words, if the arts do well, businesses will profit from that. And for the most part, most of us in the audience that are business owners would like to make a profit. And that means that if we make a profit, we can give the money to the arts organizations. And I might add that the businesses and our winners this year are a perfect example of that symbiotic relationship. Our winners, who you probably have already heard, are Koi Fine Dining and Restaurant and Lounge, and they do everything. Sandy Chen is the owner. Joey Conway is the marketing director. So you ask, and just stay there because they're going to really applaud in a minute. You ask, okay, what have they done really that's that important to the arts community? Well, first of all, they've hosted significant number of events in the back, their room in the back. You've all been to Koi, haven't you? If you haven't, get there. In their back room, they have events constantly supporting not-for-profits, and particularly the arts. But the thing that I want to really focus on is this very innovative program they have called Table 23. Anybody know what that is? Well, what they do is they pick for a month a not-for-profit, and half of the time, since they've been doing this in December of 2012, it's been an arts organization. If you sit at that table, 20% of the check goes to the selected not-for-profit. 20% at that table. Now, you can make a reservation at the table, or if you happen to sit at table 23, you're asked, what the heck? That moved on its own. Scared me, I'll tell you the truth. Yeah. That's an electric personality, I guess. So you can go to this table 23, 20% goes to the selected not-for-profit, and I'm told that over the course of the last 13 months or so, $5,000 has gone to these not-for-profits. So this organization, COI, and by the way, Penny mentioned, we had 11 magnificent nominees this year. Each year we get more I wish we could have more than one winner because so many people are doing great things working with the arts community. And we're talking about, we're not performance arts, we're talking about sculpture and paintings and all across the spectrum. And by the way, our committee sponsors Backstage Evanston coming up this September. You stay right there. Comes up next September. So I would like to then ask Sandy and Joy to come up and get their beautiful piece of artwork that Palado did for us, which is absolutely gorgeous. And here it is. Penny?
Thank you, everyone. Hecky said move to Evanston last year, and next thing I get is this. I love Evanston. Yes, I did move to Evanston last month. Thank you so much. Words cannot describe how much I appreciate this community, and I love for the past 10 years, our extraordinary team have been working really, really hard every day. I would really, really like to thank them so much. And they're still working today without them to being here. I'm really honored for Evanston art community, Mayor Tisdale for her continuous dedication, and Elaine, Evanston Chamber of Commerce for hosting another amazing event. Last one, I want to introduce Joey Conway, my assistant. Without him, I would not get this today. Thank you very much.
Wow, it's like winning an Academy Award up here. I don't even know what to do. I just want to say a little bit. We're so delighted to receive such an honorable award. And today, like most days, we're really gleaming with Evanston pride. The arts are such an intricate part of Evanston's culture. They incubate expression, creativity, passion, and happiness. The arts in Evanston make up a majority of this wonderful town's culture and diversity, making it imperative to support. We are so grateful to be selected out of all of the amazing business nominees and look forward to an amazing 2014. Thanks, everybody.
I'm always the shortest one. Always.
Yep, you are.
I know. And shrinking. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone again for attending. This is the official end of our event tonight. Congratulations to our award winner. And thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.